I bet you wonder of my humble beginnings. Well, I shall not disappoint. It all started deep, deep into the caves, in the hand of my dear king. And when I awoke, he said this to me. My powers have faded. All I have left is you, my faithful shade. All I ask of you is to wait, and never to leave these caves. I shall now sleep for 100 days, 400 days, to gather my remaining strength. Wake me when the time has come to end all fear and longing. Timers. So, this is my home, a nice place to spend the next 400 days waiting. And for 400 days I did wait. Well, almost. You'll see. I started off by just exploring. I need to find all 4 parts of this instrument before I can enjoy the pleasure of making music. I currently have 1 instrument part. The king warned me that I should never leave these caves. I wonder what exactly he meant by that. A lump of coal. I will keep you safe, my little brother. A lump of coal. A fallen brother is returning home. Now too. If I had a mattock, I could hack through the wall and enlarge my little home. My fireplace. This room could use a little warmth from time to time. Nothing better than resting a weary body on a comforting armchair. The king told me to wait for 100 days, then I should awaken him, and he will end all fear and longing. I wonder what will happen. At least my birthday will be a bit sooner. The king warned me that I should never leave these caves. I wonder what exactly he meant by that. I wish I could dream of another place. I like to explore the caves, but I feel the presence of a great darkness lurking somewhere. Where is this darkness? Will I ever overcome it? I could really use a map of the kingdom. The cave is supposedly full of hidden places. I wonder when I will have discovered every part of the cave. So far I haven't seen anything. There's a secret library somewhere in the kingdom. I could use some more books, so I'd very much like to find it. I really need to read more. My dream would be to find a book that never ends. I read about the halls of eternity, a place where time stands still. Since I have some spare time while I'm waiting, I could try to make some use of it. After all, time goes by faster if you keep your mind occupied. My home is not comfortable enough for this long wait. I wish I had more colors for my art studies. It should be possible to find some different colored stones in the cave. I especially need more pictures on my wall, especially lice pictures. Mattock would be a nice tool to have down here. I could try to enlarge my little home by hacking through the walls. There are crystals of many colors. I could harvest some of them and decorate my room. A bed would be a nice addition to my furniture. I could probably build one if I had the right materials. I could use some running water in my home. Not that I I have any need for hygiene, so I just like the sound. Luckily, I don't need to eat, but it would be nice to grow some pretty mushrooms. It's very lonely down here. From time to time, it would be nice to see another pair of eyes. I'd really like to converse with someone, anyone. Sometimes a beautiful melody is playing in my head. I wish I could play my favorite tune on my instrument to ease the pain of solitude. I should make a list of my failings. Maybe that will be a small accomplishment at least. I currently have 0 disappointments, 2 coal, and 2 paper. Well, I can't think of anything else right now. I guess I just have to continue waiting in loneliness. It's a good idea to collect my thoughts in a book. I still have several things troubling my mind I could try to figure out. That was my thoughts on the first day. They evolve as I go through the times. Let's see what I will explore next. I think the king will allow me to explore this vast ground, but I better remember the way back. There's no need to hurry, I have plenty of time to walk. And during the course of this first day, I had plenty of time for other things too. The store hasn't opened in a long time. It might take a while. There were many times in which I had to wait. Patience was my only friend in these dark caves. This seems like a great place to be lonely. I better remember the way. Taking a stroll in these magnificent halls sure is fulfilling occupation. I'm looking for something in these caves. I'm just not sure what. The cave air is warm and beautiful. A piece of clay. I have some red color for my paintings. This door should lead to the library, but it is blocked from the other side. I'll add this event to my list of disappointments. Ah, a part of my instrument. If I gather all of them, I'll be able to make some music at home. Piece of flint. I can use 2 of them to start a nice fire at home. I should talk to myself more often. This looks like the entrance to a dark and lonely place. Just the thing I need. 3 doors. Which one shall I choose? What a cozy place. The inscription reads, "Only a fool tries to reach the end of eternity." The Hall of Eternity. A hall of fools. And I would one day be one of them. We'll see. I should have predicted this outcome. My nose is not quite sharp enough to carve out this crystal. Maybe I can find a handy mattock somewhere. I hear the sound of running water. I have never understood life. I wonder where the water is going. There is moss growing here, but it's not ready to be harvested yet. Splish, splash. This little droplet is doing a lot of hard work. What a failure. I think I could make it, but if I wait for the friendly droplet to fill up the pit, this might take a month. This is one of the first long waits I had to endure. These carvings seem to show a rather crude map of the kingdom. It would take some time to decipher it. This map is very important. It took quite some time to decipher it, but I will speed things up for you. I'm starting to understand these carvings. I think I finally understood the carvings. It seems like there's a long and dark way to the top. These stairs should lead to the caves beyond the Earthen Palace. I don't think the king would like it if I ventured out there. These are some fine stairs. This is the exit of the palace. I'm about to explore other parts of the kingdom, but I should be careful. Ah, I part my instrument. If I gather all of them, I'll be able to make some music at home. I didn't quite understand what the king meant by "you shall never leave these caves." So I decided I wouldn't venture through this door. At least, not yet. From time to time, solitude can be a good thing. What a meaningless ascent. This sheet of people will be useful for my own studies. I wonder where it came from. I hope the king doesn't mind if I borrow one of his books. Sometimes I just want to stop walking and just sit down and think. A piece of chalk. Now I'll be able to paint the pale blue that will remain forever enshrouded. Treasure is behind a nearly impenetrable window of crystal glass. Not that I could make much use of it anyway. I am truly alone. A lone guardian is patrolling the empty streets. Ah, part my instrument. If I gather all of them, I'll be able to make some music at home. I have all parts of it. There's moss growing down there. Better wait till there's enough to guarantee a soft landing. It will take about 2 weeks. This is another instance of waiting I had to do. 2 weeks. I wish I had someone to talk to. I can still talk to myself after all. I just need to sit down for a while and sort out my thoughts. I dreamed about an endless hall with white pillars. This jump is too exciting for my taste. Better wait for that stalactite to come down first. Guess that could happen in a week. In 1 week it took. This was the last instance of waiting I had to do, at least here in the deepest caves. It was an exciting first day of exploring for me, and more days to come. Another symphony for the ages. Constant noise of running water is driving me insane. The soothing music of running water is calming my nerves. Nice and warm. The cave is supposedly full. I've seen a lot of places, but not everything. I've learned that only a fool tries to reach the end of eternity. And that was the end of the first day of logging. Since this place is getting more homey, I feel like time is going faster. Nothing really happened during those first days. The second, third, and fourth were almost identical. A clump of moss. I should use this to make myself something comfy. Clump of moss, soft like thoughts of solitude. Clump of moss, it's already regrowing. A clump of moss, one can never have enough. A clump of moss, collecting moss is a fun activity I can recommend. A clump of moss, I better take it with me. A clump of moss, suddenly I feel the urge to collect more. A clump of moss, another addition to my growing collection. A clump of moss, this one is the highlight of my collection so far. A clump of moss, it's making me happy already. A clump of moss, my life now has meaning again. I have my fun collecting moss. I'm checking in on the little droplet. I'm checking in on the moss growing down there. I'm checking in on the stalactite, wondering when it's ready to fall. I wonder how big these caves really are. And if the caves were big, these halls were longer. No fool, but I'd just like to see what eternity is like. Time seems to be standing still in these halls. A sheet of paper would be useful for my art studies. I wonder where it came from. A curtain matches the color of my armchair perfectly. I might be mistaken, but these halls seem to be quite endless. I hope the king doesn't mind if I borrow one of his books. It's fun to take a stroll in this room. I'm afraid that sometime we'll have to walk the whole way back. I guess I can draw something since I have so much paper. Can you guess what my first drawing will be? Yeah, that's right. Lice pictures. You can never have enough lice pictures. My first drawing. Time flies. I should be reading more. This jump is too exciting for my taste. Gotta wait for that stalactite to come down first. I feel like it could happen any moment now. The jump might be too exciting, but you know it's not. Waiting for the stalactite to come down. So I sat and waited for a while. $400. How long is a day anyway? I've never seen the sun, but I guess I have to wait to find out. If you're hoping to see the stalactite fall, I'm sorry to say, I grew tired of waiting. I dreamed about a well. I decided to instead collect more coal, a more useful pastime. I can't say my time waiting was completely useless. I did find inspiration to draw the well in my dream. Time goes faster in the company of great art. This one deserves a special place on my wall. The next day I returned, and the stalactite had fallen. Let's see what's on the other side. Luckily, the stalactite came down from above to help me out. I just hope I don't get impaled by one someday. A piece of wood might be useful for building a bed. Hello, face. How are you? I am well, thank you. How are you? What will happen after the 400 days? I will grant you my wisdom, but I demand an offering in return. How can I overcome the darkness? The way to the light is blocked by total darkness. You will only overcome darkness if you learn to become darkness. This way you will be invisible to it. But you will only achieve this if you delve deep, deep into your own mind and conscious loneliness. I never quite understood what the face meant. Thank you for your wisdom. Until I was face to face with darkness itself. But I will not come now. Hello, face. How are you? I am well, thank you. How are you? What will happen after 400 days? As long as there is time, there will always be longing. And once all longing has ended, the world will no longer need time. And those without longing will no longer need the world. The face knew things I never could. And I would never know truly what he meant here, because I never faced that reality. I wish I had some more books to read. That was my first thought on the last day of the week. My next long wait would soon be conquered, but I would not see it today. The little droplet had made a lot of progress, and for that I was proud. But one thing still pulled me, still clutched onto my shoulders, and gripped them tight, pulled me close and whispered in my ear. It was the door out of these caves. My curiosity overwhelmed me. I had to get through this door. This old door is opening quite slowly. I'll need at least 2 hours before granting me entry. But 2 hours was nothing against the weight I had already endured. Many days. 2 hours. 2 hours is nothing. Bring it on.